who can tell me the difference between active and passive learning? What's passive learning? Just sit and do what? Listen, read. What's active learning? Yeah, how many times? 2. That's active learning. What Mike is eliciting from you is active learning. Why?
You're projecting.
Yeah, you're verbalizing. So speaking and role playing will internalize. So back to the beginning. We want to internalize and memorize through role playing and objective different training. Active versus passive. So that means instead of just watching the videos, instead of just reading the scripts, watching the videos or seeing someone live is going to be better than just reading scripts. What's going to be better than just watching videos and watching it live? Taking notes while you're doing it. What's above all of that? To internalize it. Role playing, you do it. Okay, so the more active you get, the better. Okay. Next thing for training, do you. Okay, do you. Don't do Carlos Cordero, Jeff Gambo, Orlando Biersing. Don't do Scott Dennis, Ben Jackson, Brian Hurlman. Don't do whatever video I'm going to have you watch, which in this case will be either my video, it'll be a combination of my video and Brian Hurlman's 2-day training. It'll be 2 combinations. Don't be me, do you, be you. And the reason you can do that is because you're focused on the objectives. Don't get so caught up in that really cool thing and how passionate. And some of you are going to watch Brian Hurlman, some of you are going to watch some of my videos and go, I couldn't say it like that. You shouldn't, but can you get the same objective across? That's the key. Next one. Scripting. And here are a couple thoughts. Scripting does have a time and a place. Scripting has a time and a place. Okay. But I just care about the X, which is the end result, which is you learning the training. So I don't need you to script till 1 in the morning for me to consider you successful at learning the training. Because some of you will script until your hands fall off and you still don't know the training. Some of you will do that. I've seen it. Okay. Also, with the training, really, really important. The big 6 matter. The big 6 talk matter. Okay, the big 6 talk matter. Let me put this in here. So here are the big 6 talks. What I mean, let me explain how training is going to work. We're going to have video supplementation for your training. Okay, so there are going to be videos where a manager, most cases me, okay, will be a video of me running a section, possibly Brian, will be put up, and that will be the instructor versus you. But you will, and you can use the word video support, video and proctor. Who can tell me what proctor means?
Facilitate.
Yeah, facilitate and kind of guide people through. Okay, so you will have people. You will have videos, rather. Sorry, you have videos that you will proctor on primarily the big 6, and they're the most important talks. So that's why we don't give them to you. That's unfair, right? And they're also the longer talks. Now, as you become more skilled as a manager, you'll learn either to proctor them even better round 2, round 3, or you'll learn to just run them yourselves. My suspicion is that we're going down a track as a company where more and more of the trainings could be more video supplement, meaning more than the big 6. In fact, there are some programs where the majority of training is video. We're just not necessarily there yet in our division as far as track, but these videos, anything over 30 plus minutes will be videotaped, okay? So I want you to lower the pressure of having to really learn this entire training, knowing this is going to be covered for you. You just have to be good at proctoring and explaining what just happened, essentially debrief the videos. Any questions, light bulbs, or commentary? Okay, how many of you did some of this last year already? Okay.
I think what's important to realize is that Jeff does this really well, and if you observe how he does it for you guys, you can get better at it too.
Oh yeah, right. We do a lot of debriefs. Yeah, it's just kind of in the nature of what we do. Thanks. Well done. Big 6 talks. So let's list off the big 6. Let me do this real quick. Oh, nothing. We're fine. Bless you. Good sneeze.
sounds what I was
Okay. Speed it up, speed it up.
Dexter.
Dexter.
Big six talks. Number one is opening comments. Number one is opening comments. Number two is names list. There is value. Well, actually, I'm sorry. No. Sorry. Number four, PR talk. Oh, I'm sorry. Oops, sorry. Opening comments, names, list, value, schedule phone, PR, and then schedule walkthrough. Those are the big six talks. Like demo and schedule walkthrough. And it's okay. So what's really important is that these talks will be covered by video, but you should know how to deliver these messages, right? So again, opening comments, those are from both day one. Set the tone for the training. Names list so they have any people to call. Value so they understand why what they're selling is easy to sell. How to get demos. Build our business. And then demo and schedule walkthrough. And one of the things that we are separating here, the actual demo walkthrough is going to be the video, and the schedule walkthrough we're going to have you do it because it's your office, it's your standards and your agreements. Schedule walkthrough is, hey, this is how you can get out of meetings if you do it the right way. This is how, what and where I expect you to be at, and why. Okay. Questions so far? This is just a quick review. Okay. Luke already went through this in Olean, but let me give you the quick Cliff Note version, or the abbreviated version. Okay. Opening comments, you can put a note, is set the tone. Opening comments just sets the tone from what the job is, it catches you up from the interview. Names list is so they have people to call. Okay. 3, value, so they believe in the price of Cutco and the value of Cutco. They set the phone and schedule, so they set appointments and know when and where they're supposed to be for the schedule. PR talk, that's self-explanatory. Okay. The demo walkthrough, let's just bring it all together. Okay. So far, so good. A picture on post on TLA. I'm sure someone will say, "What does that say?" Fine. So if you go back to the beginning, thanks, Alex. If you go back to the beginning of prep, how many hours a week do we talk about to allot towards this? About 2 hours, roughly 2 hours a week. So it'll take roughly 1 to 2 hours here, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So in theory, it's 12 hours to really go through, but that's just if you do it once. Okay, and truth be told, and I think Luke knows the story, Luke didn't really work on his training seminar really until, I think, Luke, was it February when you first branched?
I think
I didn't mute.
I think it might be on this.
That's right. You can hear me, right, Luke? That's fine if you can. Oh, I see. He can hear. Okay. So the point is, when they were number 1, number 2 in the nation, they didn't even dive into this until February. It was a little late, if we're being honest. But you can learn it, and you can use the videos to supplement. Luke, do you have a take on your scripting, and were you scripting every word, and what was your strategy to really get it down?
I mean, I was a lot of just late night scripting going on, and also playing it in the car instead of like music for a little while. I was internalizing it. But I scripted it word for word. I would tackle a couple hours each night.
Yeah, I have no doubt. And there's a small minority of people that don't need to script word for word, but I think most people, the active process of scripting will help you.
I would do a word for word version, and then also an outline version that you can use. But definitely at least one time script it out word for word.
Yep, I agree. And here's what's coming to you guys. What's going to come later, okay, is going to be an outline of this. Okay. And then number 2 will be, and Alex, one more time, picture this one. So we'll have an outline, and then you'll have a leader's guide that has the objectives you want to get across. The outline will not have the word for word on the outline on purpose. There'll be some parts that have word for word, but it's going to be contingent upon, did you watch the videos? Okay. So let me just clarify what this all says, and you'll have it in the picture and in your notes. Okay, ready? So this is the beginning part. Day 1, there's reading and opening comments. The demo, so pages 1 through 7 of the training, all the way up through echo. Closing, how to close a sale, and the price. Pay program. Names list talk. How to assignments, and then they phone jam before they go home. I'm just trying to read my handwriting too. Then day 2, there's check-in, all the contracts for Vector Live and all the paperwork. Fast start and PR talk, so you get that done early. Selling sets and dropping down. It includes a video on past customers and accessories. How to do, probably the easiest thing is just roll, how to punch the numbers into the internet. Recommendations, give them their kits. You do the full demo walkthrough with their blue book. Expectations and PDI, phone jam again, assignments, and then we always end with the penny because it's fun and gives them a little enthusiasm before they get out there. Questions, comments? So that in a nutshell is your training. So again, you'll get a script and you'll get a syllabus that'll say, okay, so the first week you want to focus on that talk first and script that talk. Then for the next one, you'll do that one, and so forth and so forth. And just so you're aware, we have videos of me running training for the past 3 years straight, but that was a 3-day training. So the first version you're going to get is a Brian Hurlman 2-day coming. In fact, the seminar he just finished yesterday was taped for us. Okay, because we're very in sync with the Hurlman training. Eventually, you'll get a version of me running it too, but you at least get the Hurlman to start. Any questions or comments? Pretty straightforward. Okay. And we'll also do the same thing for advanced training. I'm going to table advanced training for the next practice. I think it's going to go over your heads right now. Questions or comments? How about anyone else from past who can just give some thoughts on the training? Dalila.
In terms of combining scripting and objectives, what I did, and it really helped me, was I scripted word for word. I would watch Carlos and script him, and then I would write why did he say everything, while I scripted. That's good too. That takes extra time, but that helps, and you did very productivity. You had what, 2 10K fast starters? 3? 1 10K fast starter a day. And then 2 10K pushers. Yeah. Mark and Amanda over there. How ironic, isn't that cool to be here? Who knew? Any other thoughts? Carlos and Orlando in the back, you guys are the most seasoned. I wasn't preparing for anything. Is there anything else you would add in regards to timeline, getting this done, mentality and training? It doesn't have to be.
I think it needs to be a priority. This is new, and you've got 3 months to really learn it. And if you wait till April, you need to do it now. Like I know for me, like there's weeks that I'm gonna be gone, so I've already got text messages from people like, hey, I need to watch 5 of your seminars. I'm like, I might run 5 or 6 this entire spring. So if you want to, and also if you want a chance to run training, you need to learn it. Because if someone's going to give, let's say, 12 training seminars in a campaign, you better go in there with it. You need to be prepared to.
I agree.
And then there's Munich Week, right? So that's an opportunity for some of you to get in there and run parts of training or some training, but that's a lot sooner than you think.
Yeah,
we've got 1 month. We got 5 weeks till Munich, just to think about it that way. 5-6 weeks till Munich. So
yeah,
4 seminars between now and then. So someone in here is like, I'm going to run training.
Yeah, I would say not everyone's going to, but I would be really, really pushing to get a training that you can run in a district office before you go out, just one. And in the pilot, for example, if you're from Fort Lauderdale, we're going to run 2 or 3 trainings at the same time. We're going to do one in the bullpen, one in Beth's office, and one in the interview room. So we'll have 3 people, like for example, like a Grant and a Jeremy, and let's say Kirsten, for example. The 3 of them could run training at the same time. We're just going to set 5 people for training for one, 5 for the other. So we have 3 going on just to get that repetition. Because just in theory and reading and scripting is one thing. Being able to get up in front of people and deliver is a whole different experience. And you really don't want your first experience of running a live training to be the first one that counts for your summer. You just don't want that. Will it happen? Probably for like 2 or 3 of you, but if not preferred. Okay, let's do this. Go through your notes. I want you to take the next 2 minutes. Take your biggest takeaways from the prep and your top 3 action steps. You need to get that into your notes. I'll give you 2 minutes for that. I'm going to review assignments at the end. Big takeaways and some action steps. What's urgent for you to get done, to work on, to organize? Another minute. Okay. Okay, we're going to do a quick round. Okay, in just a second. Let's finish up with some what's important with calendar in the next couple of days here. So turn to your January calendars, please. So on the 18th, within a week, in less than a week, we're going to be getting calls with those of you that don't know about your territories, either whether you're on pace or not, and going to have to earn your spot by year-end banquet, or you'll get your territory. 80% of you will get a spot on Thursday. The other 20%, you probably already know you're the 20% on this call, or at this meeting. If that's you, I would be hustling like a mofo tonight, Sunday, Monday, all the way until Thursday. So you have something to show when I say, and I'll use Amanda, but she's on pace. I'll say, hey, Amanda, I just want to let you know we're not giving you a territory today. Here's why. Let me hear your take on it. Okay, tell me what your strategy is. And I want the best possible scenario for that 20% is for Amanda in this case to say, well, since the prep, here's what I've done, here's what's happened, here's what I've already said, and here's what I'm doing from now until the year-end banquet to secure my spot. Everyone see that? Here's an easy way. Well, Jeff, am I someone who might not get it? If you had a crappy push, that's probably you. If you didn't show up for the push and you let outside distractions, it's like 3 of you, outside distractions take you from your push, that's probably you. So have action, take actions. Don't get caught up in that. Cool, so that's the 18th. Next benchmark, once the territories are out, you want to start Facebook friending. So the first benchmark is by year-end banquet, you want to be at about 200 plus friends for your territory. By year-end banquet, which is the 26th, you want to be at about 200 friends for your territory. And then the next benchmark, February 13th, you want to be at about 500 plus. 13th, yeah. So the day before Valentine's Day, before you guys all send me chocolates and roses and flowers and balloons and teddy bears.
You said 500?
Yes, 500 by the 13th. All of this is also on the calendar that I sent you. All of this is on the agenda from today, and all this is on a picture on TLA WhatsApp. You can't miss it. If you miss it, it's your fault. It's everywhere. Okay, so start Facebook friending. And your first round of office search leads is going to be due on the 16th of February. So those are the 3 most important things. Facebook checkpoint 1, Facebook checkpoint 2, and then on the 16th, your first round of office leads for searching are due. Got it so far? Eyes up when you're done, and we'll move forward. So let me review quick assignments, and then we'll share with takeaways what you appreciate. We'll get out of here. And we'll be out 30 minutes early. Surprise. Everyone cool with that? Say yes, please.
Yes.
Say yes, please.
Yes, please.
Say yes.
Yes. Make your move.
Make your move. Okay. So assignment, and this will be, I'll send this back out on email. Some of this is on the agenda, and I'll send this on WhatsApp so you can't miss it, but I want you to get it down actively. Number 1, Kathy Vasquez PDI video. Kathy Vasquez, Kristen, PDI video. Number 2, the next level first 10-day management video. The link is on the agenda already. And then number 3, the PDI discussion from the last prep. I'll send the link all together in one message. So Kathy Vasquez, first 10-day. Next level, first 10-day, like big 3 from the tally prep. The link is all on the agenda. And then the December PDI talk. Assignment number 4, have your Facebook profile cleaned up. At a year-end banquet, I want to see everyone's Facebook and Instagram. I want to see all your headshots and profiles. Just so you're aware, okay? We are bringing in professional photographers to year-end banquets to get all of you professional headshots. Okay, and you know this. How much does photography cost?
Like a couple $100.
What are headshots for your? If you need headshots or what do you call those? What do models have?
Portfolios.
There's something card. So a headshot. Anyway, what do those cost?
Like $300 to $600.
$300 to $600. Okay, so you can thank Trey Ketchum because he knows a guy. Just bring them in. So we're gonna each manager is gonna get charged $25 for 2 headshots. Okay, you can speak to how cheap that is because you've done them. So it'll be $25. I'll get a new one too because they're gonna do a formal, traditional one, and then a more modern one. So 2. So it'll help update your profiles and look a little bit more recruiting friendly. Cool. Okay. So I need to see your Facebook profile in general updated though. So take out some of those not so best version of your photos or posts. Some of you, we all have them at some point, right? So remove those, and then whatever pictures you're gonna have on the, what's the top picture?
Cover.
Cover photo. I knew that. Yes.
What does that do?
Okay. Any questions? All right, let's go around the horn. I would like your biggest takeaway and what you appreciate to wrap up. And we'll go virtually first. We'll start with Luke Laughlin, Rachel, Oscar, Jeremy to start. Luke Laughlin, Rachel, Jeremy, and Oscar to start. Mr. Laughlin, you're up. One
biggest takeaway.
Biggest
I love
takeaway,
the
what do you
idea of
appreciate?
internalizing.
Uh-huh.
So internalizing everything, getting down, repetition, emotion, all that. What do I appreciate? Just overall clarity of next steps and just having stuff lined up to take massive action, make stuff happen.
Cool. Thank you. Miss Rachel.
I just think for me, it's definitely clarity of my big 3 action steps. So really, for me, I have to try and get clear on what to do this semester in order to be successful.
What do you appreciate?
I appreciate this prep.
Okay. I appreciate you. We'll go Jeremy, then Oscar. Quickly.
So
We don't
I'm
see
just
you.
excited.
I lost my camera. I can't see you. There it is.
So I'm just excited to do the action steps. So review the scripts, plan for spring, and start basically blasting and looking for offices as soon as I get my territory. And I appreciate the fact that it's finally starting. We've been waiting for a while for this. So.
Okay. Thank you. We'll go Oscar, Mila, then Tatiana.
So just basically internalizing everything versus scripting. My biggest action is really basic drafting once I know my territory and just making an outline for training.
What do you appreciate? Quickly.
What I appreciate is just being here in Miami.
Okay. Well, yeah. Welcome. And we'll go to Mila and then over to Tally, starting with Sean.
My biggest takeaway was the importance of starting positive habits early. Not just with the reps, what we talked about with first weekend, but also just for myself to get myself ready for the summer. And then I appreciate my COI facilitating our growth.
Yay, COI. Okay, we'll go Sean, then Eric Palacio.
So biggest takeaway would be PEI scenarios and running through it. I just think that practicing it and really not having a script, but asking questions, digging deeper. And then what I appreciate is just getting out early in these preps.
There you go. Eric Palacio, and then over to Kirsten.
My biggest takeaway was definitely the shell of training and just how, when you packet everything out, simple it can be. And what I appreciate is the opportunity to better myself on a daily basis and be around people that want to keep bettering themselves as well.
All right. Thank you for sharing. We'll go Kirsten, then Maddie.
My biggest takeaway is basically just internalizing everything you need to know and assessing everything you need to know to do before you actually go out and do your run your branch. And once you know what you need to do, you can start acting on it and working towards it and kind of just bettering yourself before you get there, honing down the skills.
Excellent. And then what do you appreciate?
What I appreciate is this long weekend.
Outstanding. Hey, one thing I didn't mention. You want to get a head start and not wait for the Roman videos and not wait for the official syllabus for scripting training. I'm all about it. All you do is just get the old Roman videos. You can watch the same talks and you'll get a good idea. And Luke and I were talking about that. Ask your manager how to get the 3-day Roman videos. Just start on the talks and you'll just see the 2-day videos they just shorten up. Okay. All right, good. Thank you, Ms. Kirsten. We'll go over to Maddie and then we'll jump over to JP.
My biggest takeaway was just getting recommitted and then learning with my circle of influence.
Okay, thank you. We'll go JP and then Will.
All right, so my biggest takeaway was just to coach through questions and also to focus on the actions instead of the results and kind of use that to maintain an even keel your coaching reps. I would say what I appreciate is just the Tally squad.
Yeah.
Not Eddie. And not Eddie.
Not Eddie.
Eddie. Delila's here too.
Delila's here too, but they're just Maddie. We'll go Will, and then we'll come over here live.
So, biggest takeaway was just being here and having the do some work now here at banquet. And one thing I'm excited for is having an opportunity to kind of redeem myself now in the banquet.
Yeah, you'll get it. No worries. Med school, remember? Med school. We'll go over here. We'll go Maggie, and then quickly, 10 seconds or less. Biggest takeaway, what do you appreciate? Ready, go.
Biggest takeaway is during Carlos talk, whenever he said whenever someone calls to check in or clock out or whatever, you ask them what they learned because it allows them to debrief their appointment, which they typically wouldn't do normally.
Yep.
And then what I appreciate is that we're gonna have professional pictures taken.
Okay, good. Quickly, 10 seconds.
Biggest takeaway, the training outline, and I appreciate having all this content to sink my teeth into.
Good. Mr. Ross.
Biggest takeaway was with PDI, like knowing the objective instead of focusing on what you're saying.
Good.
And then appreciate the opportunity to learn all this.
All right, good. Eddie.
So biggest takeaways are what Carlos said, if you don't get the first 25%, you're not getting the other 75%. And from an integrity standpoint, you have to have your first weekend handled from everything you're going to be telling over training.
Mm-hmm.
What I appreciate is being here live at the prep in Tampa.
Jackson.
Biggest takeaway is the time's now. Summer's right around the corner. And what I appreciate is Eddie coming down for the prep in Tampa.
Rhiannon.
One of my big takeaways is something I've been doing my previous 2 branches, and that's speaking to customers on page 9. I think that's something I was missing with PPR. Top action step is to start dedicating more time to training on a weekly basis, and I appreciate prep being 5 minutes away from where I live.
Oh, nice. True. Everyone gets a close prep at some point, right? So, well, this to me this is rough for the same.
My biggest takeaway is I appreciate, first of all, Brandon and Tyler kind of gave me some good tips for future stuff. And my biggest takeaway was objective
driven. Good. Thank you. We appreciate it. One more time. Me too.
My biggest takeaway was the general overview of what needs to be said on the coaching calls, just keeping it simple with those questions. And what I appreciate is being here and circling influence.
Okay, we'll go to the back. Mr. Orlando.
Biggest takeaway was just seeing Carlos do the first week of walkthrough.
Good, and we appreciate it.
What I appreciate is their squad.
All right, we'll go in the back. Mr. Carlos, thanks for hosting.
The biggest takeaway was how you teach. The little side conversation we had about how you're laying everything out for the class.
Good.
Versus just here's everything.
Yeah. Okay.
This bites to this. And what I appreciate is everyone coming to our organization, you visiting.
Yeah, this is fun. I like Tampa. I like Tampa a lot. We'll go Giovanni.
Biggest takeaways: develop a strength bag, create assignments for yourself. I appreciate charity on my 3 next actions.
Nice. Dalila.
My biggest takeaway is just kind of how you think versus what to say. And I just appreciate being here.
Good. And then wrap it up, and I'll wrap up. Mr. Denny.
Yeah, just having clear vision and really just clarity on like the planning sessions and stuff like that coming up. And I appreciate Dalila coming here and being
And Eddie.
and Eddie.
Yeah.
But he already did Eddie, so I was gonna do Dalila.
Oh, okay, there you go. That's fine. Good.
For sure.
Miss Ella, thank you. Sorry, I apologize.
My biggest takeaway was just being objective driven, not focusing on results as much. My next action step, really just scripting it out as soon as possible, because I know Mike's going to give us the opportunity to start running them as soon as possible. And then what I appreciate is just having a circle of influence all over Florida. It's a really great opportunity.
You guys have one hell of a network all before 25 years old. It's pretty cool. So here are my a couple takeaways. Number one, if you were here last year, raise your hand. Whether you ran an office or you're part of United or out in Florida Atlantic, right? What a difference a year makes. Do you know that at this point last year, this date, the thought of having the United Division didn't even exist? Do you know that at this date, we didn't know we were working together? At this date, we had our own track on how we were going to prepare for the summer. I didn't even hear about the opportunity till right after your banquet. I didn't hear about that. And February 6th week last year, 2017, I took an emergency trip from my DVM meeting, and instead of going home, I just changed a bunch of flights. Scott helped me out, just it was last minute. And I flew down here to get a day with Mike Abramowitz to talk to him about the change, and I got the day with Carlos. And I got a chance to meet. I sat and I had sushi with Rhiannon Smith for the first time, and introduced Rhiannon to Heidi on FaceTime. I remember these like it was yesterday. It seems like so long ago. And the first time we ever went through concepts where our division was united, no pun intended, was March 24th. Okay? I say we've been doing this united thing together probably, I mean, since March 24th last year, and it has not stopped. The consistency in the systems and more important, the culture and the united thinking process, which is exciting. Takeaway number 2, the caliber of who we have, not just what we do and how we do it, the caliber of the people in this room is unlike anything I've had the opportunity and honor to lead, but that's all just potential. That means nothing unless we execute. Number 3, I'm really enjoying running preps. Not that I didn't before, but you know, back to rekindling the fire. You have rekindled my fire. What I appreciate is all of you, young people working hard. I appreciate the opportunity to go to P Banquet and celebrate a great summer and a great fall, to celebrate with Luke and Andrew for their accomplishments, to celebrate with also Mike Abramowitz and other P Banquet winners for a great fall, to have carefree timelessness and great experiences like dune buggy racing in the desert, which we'll do Sunday morning. I'll send pics. And I just appreciate the Vector opportunity to do that. I also appreciate my bride-to-be who found her wedding dress. Yay. It's beautiful.
You saw it?
Just kidding. No, I didn't see it, of course not. You silly.
I was like,
No. We went to a small, quaint town in Westchester, Pennsylvania. I went to Starbucks. She texted me. She goes, I found it. I said, great. You know, don't show me. And so she said yes to the dress. And she's on Instagram on their page. It's really cool. And the last thing I appreciate are our district leaders. So Orlando and Carlos and Mike, Karina, David Vargas. Grace Velez, obviously, she's going to be representing elsewhere. And of course, David Delgado in the pilot, and Luke during the summer. We have quite the squad, and I'm so excited. So I hope you appreciate these moments where you're working really hard in training, because you're going to forget that you came here on a Saturday and expected a 5-hour prep. It was 4.5. You're going to forget that you traveled however far, all the way from Clearwater or from Tallahassee, because you didn't want to be with the tally crew and betray them. I mean, you won't remember all that. But what you'll realize later is, man, who I'm becoming and where I am 1 year from now. So it's just don't take that for granted. I mean, a lot of people outside of Cutco that me appreciate people like you more and more and more and more. And for all the times you've fallen on your face, and a lot of you have fallen on your face recently during the push, it's more exciting to see what happens when you get back up. We let us coach you and you get better. Cool? All right, sayonara, suckers. Great prep. Slow clap. Slow, ununified clap. All right, everyone, have a great Saturday. Take care of each other. Be good.